Government survey system questions. Question 1. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving a leasehold that renews for successive periods until proper notice is given? Option A, air rights. Option B, tenancy at will. Option C, fixture. Option D, periodic tenancy. The correct answer is option D, periodic tenancy. Rent is commonly paid monthly, but another recurring interval may be used. The tenancy continues from period to period instead of ending on a fixed date. Termination requires notice that complies with the lease and applicable law. Question 2. At a financing review in Towson, Samuel explains a lawful existing use that remains after a zoning change makes that use inconsistent with current rules. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, nonconforming use. Option B, police power. Option C, buffer zone. Option D, encroachment. The correct answer is option A, nonconforming use. The use is often allowed to continue because it was legal when established. A new owner generally takes the property subject to the same restrictions. Expansion, abandonment, or destruction may affect whether the protection continues. Question 3. A transaction file for a warehouse raises an issue involving movable items that are not permanently attached to land. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, government survey system. Option B, personal property. Option C, tenancy at sufferance. Option D, literal rights. The correct answer is option B, personal property. An item may change classification if it is permanently installed as a fixture. Movable belongings generally remain separate from the real estate. They can usually be transferred by delivery or a bill of sale rather than by deed.
Stressed about your property and casualty? We can take property and casualty for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. Which concept should a salesperson apply to facts involving possession by a tenant who remains after a lawful lease has ended without the landlord's consent in the offer review described? Option A, bundle of rights. Option B, government survey system. Option C, tenancy at sufferance. Option D, tenancy in common. The correct answer is option C, tenancy at sufferance. This status is different from trespass at the beginning because the original possession was valid. The landlord may pursue lawful eviction or accept rent and create a new tenancy. The occupant entered legally but stays beyond the authorized period. Question 5. Leah is studying a rule concerning a use right acquired through open, continuous, adverse use for the statutory period. Which term should be chosen? Option A, mechanic's lien. Option B, lease pendens. Option C, conditional use. Option D, easement by prescription. The correct answer is option D, easement by prescription. The result is a limited right of use rather than ownership of the land. Secret or occasional use generally will not establish the right. The claimant uses another person's land without permission in a manner that satisfies legal requirements. Question 6. When a single-family home transaction involves a physical intrusion of an improvement across a boundary line, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, encroachment. Option B, police power. Option C, lease pendens. Option D, building code. The correct answer is option A, encroachment. Fences, buildings, and driveways can create this problem when they extend onto neighboring land. A survey may reveal the condition before purchase or financing. Possible remedies include removal, an agreement, an easement, or litigation. Question 7. A practice question describes a private limitation placed in a deed or recorded declaration that controls property use. Which response is best? Option A, taxation. Option B, deed restriction. Option C, license. Option D, lease pendens. The correct answer is option B, deed restriction. Enforcement normally belongs to parties who benefit from the covenant. The restriction binds property through private agreement rather than direct government regulation. A use may comply with zoning yet still violate a stricter private restriction. Question 8. During a due diligence meeting, which principle is illustrated by a use right that benefits one parcel and burdens another parcel? Option A, license. Option B, police power. Option C, easement appurtenant. Option D, general lien. The correct answer is option C, easement appurtenant. The benefited and burdened parcels are commonly described as dominant and servient estates. It is tied to parcel ownership rather than to a particular individual. The right ordinarily transfers with the land even when it is not mentioned in every later deed.
Are you looking for property and casualty actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access property and casualty study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get property and casualty answer key today.
Question 9. Which answer states the concept associated with a statutory claim protecting persons who provide qualifying labor or materials to improve real property? Option A. Deed restriction. Option B. Easement appurtenant. Option C. Non-conforming use. Option D. Mechanic's lien. The correct answer is option D. Mechanic's lien. Payment disputes should be resolved before the claim matures into enforcement. The claimant must comply with notice, filing, and timing requirements. The lien attaches to the improved property and can affect sale or refinancing. Question 10. A tenant handling a historic residence in Salisbury must identify a claim attached to a particular identified property. Which choice is correct? Option A. Specific lien. Option B. Variance. Option C. Police power. Option D. Subdivision regulation. The correct answer is option A. Specific lien. The lien affects title and may be enforced against that property. It does not automatically reach every asset owned by the debtor. A mortgage and a real estate tax lien commonly burden the parcel connected to the debt. Question 11. During a buyer consultation for a mixed-use property in Easton, Victor needs to identify the rule described as permission to depart from a zoning requirement because strict application creates a qualifying hardship. Which answer applies? Option A. Buffer zone. Option B. Variance. Option C. Easement by prescription. Option D. Building code. The correct answer is option B. Variance. The zoning relief should not be confused with a use permitted automatically by the zoning classification. The applicant must satisfy the standards established by local law. The relief addresses a property minus specific difficulty rather than changing the district rules for everyone. Question 12. A buyer representative is reviewing a subdivision lot in Annapolis. Which term describes the broadest private ownership interest of potentially unlimited duration? Option A. Real property. Option B. Government survey system. Option C. Fee simple absolute. Option D. Remainder interest. The correct answer is option C. Fee simple absolute. This estate provides the greatest collection of ownership rights recognized in private property. It may be sold, gifted, devised, or inherited and is not limited by a stated ending event. Government powers and private encumbrances can still restrict its use. Question 13. At a contract revision, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: a use permitted in a zoning district only after specified standards and approval requirements are met. Which concept is being tested? Option A. Police power. Option B. Taxation. Option C. Special assessment. Option D. Conditional use. The correct answer is option D. Conditional use. The reviewing authority may impose reasonable conditions connected to land-use impacts. The zoning law identifies the use as potentially acceptable under controlled conditions. This differs from an illegal use that has no authorization in the district. Question 14. Nora is assisting with a rental home transaction in College Park. Which principle applies when the facts involve a development arrangement combining individually owned property with shared facilities or common areas? Option A. Planned unit development. Option B. Township. Option C. Tenancy at will. Option D. Air rights. The correct answer is option A. Planned unit development. Owners usually hold title to their lots or units and share responsibilities through an association. The design may mix housing types and uses under an approved development plan. Recorded declarations and rules control common expenses and use restrictions. Question 15. Which answer most accurately identifies personal permission to enter or use land that does not create an ownership interest in a real estate transaction? Option A. Deed restriction. Option B. License. Option C. Encroachment. Option D. Subdivision regulation. The correct answer is option B. License. Unlike an easement, this privilege usually cannot be transferred as a permanent property right. The permission is generally revocable and does not run with the land. Tickets and temporary access permissions are common examples. Question 16. A question arising during offer review concerns land together with permanently attached improvements and associated legal rights. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A. Township. Option B. Lot and block system. Option C. Real property. Option D. Point of beginning. The correct answer is option C, real property. The ownership interest also includes legally recognized rights such as possession, control, exclusion, enjoyment, and disposition. Movable belongings are classified separately unless they become fixtures. Land and items permanently attached to it are treated as immovable property. Question 17. While analyzing a duplex, Gavin must apply the concept involving recorded notice that litigation may affect title to identified real property. Which answer should be selected? Option A, general lien. Option B, deed restriction. Option C, license. Option D, lease pendens. The correct answer is option D, lease pendens. It does not itself decide who will win the litigation. A later transferee generally takes subject to the outcome of the pending case. The notice warns purchasers and lenders that the lawsuit can determine property rights. Question 18. Which real estate term is defined by the collection of legal powers associated with real property ownership in the per-listing meeting described? Option A, bundle of rights. Option B, metes and bounds. Option C, condominium ownership. Option D, section. The correct answer is option A, bundle of rights. Ownership is commonly analyzed as separate rights rather than one indivisible privilege. These rights include possession, control, exclusion, enjoyment, and disposition. A person may transfer or limit one right while retaining the others. Stressed about your AccuPlacer? We can take AccuPlacer for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. In a transaction involving a townhouse, which rule controls when there is a leasehold with a definite beginning and ending date? Option A, joint tenancy. Option B, estate for years. Option C, tenancy in common. Option D, tenancy by the entirety. The correct answer is option B, estate for years. No notice is normally required because the parties know the exact duration at formation. This tenancy ends automatically on the stated expiration date. The name refers to certainty of term and can describe a period shorter than 1 year. Question 20. A appraiser asks about the legal ability to use or control space above a parcel. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, lot and block system. Option B, remainder interest. Option C, air rights. Option D, metes and bounds. The correct answer is option C, air rights. These rights may be sold, leased, or limited separately from surface ownership when law permits. Zoning and safety regulations still control what may be built. Development above rail lines, roads, or existing structures often depends on this interest. Question 21. Malik encounters individual ownership of a unit combined with an undivided interest in common elements during an inspection period. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, government survey system. Option B, estate for years. Option C, point of beginning. Option D, condominium ownership. The correct answer is option D, condominium ownership. Financing and transfer generally involve the individual unit rather than shares in a corporation. The unit owner receives title to a defined space and shares ownership of common areas. Association documents govern maintenance, assessments, and use restrictions. Question 22. Which choice best matches the description? A legal description referencing a recorded subdivision plat. Option A, lot and block system. Option B, bundle of rights. Option C, tenancy by the entirety. Option D, life estate. The correct answer is option A, lot and block system. The recorded map provides the dimensions and relationship of the parcel to surrounding lots and streets. This method is common in plat urban and suburban developments. The parcel is identified by lot number, block designation, subdivision name, and recording information. Question 23. During review of a waterfront parcel in Rockville, the parties discuss water-related rights of owners whose land borders a flowing body of water. Which term applies? Option A, fixture. Option B, riparian rights. Option C, section. Option D, periodic tenancy. The correct answer is option B, riparian rights. State law determines the exact scope of use and ownership. Boundaries and access can change as the watercourse changes gradually. The owner may have reasonable use of the water subject to public rights and the rights of other owners. Question 24. An exam scenario presents a possessory arrangement with no fixed ending date that may be terminated by either party. Which answer is most accurate? Option A, government survey system. Option B, tenancy in common. Option C, tenancy at will. Option D, joint tenancy. The correct answer is option C, tenancy at will. The arrangement continues only while both landlord and tenant consent. Applicable law or the agreement determines the notice needed to end possession. It lacks the definite expiration found in a term tenancy. Question 25. A licensee preparing for a contract revision must recognize government power to impose charges on property to fund public services. Which concept does this describe? Option A, easement by prescription. Option B, deed restriction. Option C, certificate of occupancy. Option D, taxation. The correct answer is option D, taxation. Assessed value and the tax rate are distinct components of the calculation. Real estate taxes commonly become liens against the property if unpaid. Special assessments may finance improvements that benefit particular parcels.